Welcome to the Boom Bap Kingdom. Yo, peace and welcome to the Boom Bap Kingdom. We're in the building, we're chilling, and today I'm jumping on that Lofi-12 XT. Really soon you're gonna get some beats. I'm gonna play a beat that I made, pretty basic. It's a basic unit. However, it's definitely more powerful than you think. I really like the Lofi XT. I think it's really dope for lo-fi, boom bap. Even if you're doing like lo-fi house, you could get pretty busy on it. The 8-track limitation, and don't really be fooled by that. The specs, are really good for the price point. So this gets back to what I was saying a while back about budget samplers. Right now it's a $400, situation US. And I think it's worth that for sure. I purchased it with my own money. So all these thoughts and opinions are my own. Basically, when I see companies adding on to the cipher, I will support that if they're adding on in a positive way. And I think with the Lofi-12 XT, they wanted to add on sonically in a way, and with the built-in limitations, they added on in two ways. So it's the sample engine, especially the 12-bit engine. It really sounds nice. It's very warm, and the unit is very punchy. I made this beat with the drums from the basement and chopped up a sample from Hidden Secrets, and just listen to that punch and that kick. It hits. For a little guy, it really hits. I love the form factor, the portability. At first, I thought the screen was going to be a little too small, but they do put enough information on the screen that makes it usable. The most recent project is what it will boot up into. I made a beat here just to kind of get used to the workflow, and I will audition the samples for you. I have my drums, and these drums come straight from the drums from the basement pack on the boombapkingdom.com. You could easily jump on there and purchase those. I did pitch them, and I used their converter to downgrade the bit depth. And this is not a scripted video. I'm just kind of giving you guys my thoughts of, messing around with it for a few days, because I've had it for probably about a week, but I only made the one beat, so I really only sat with it for a couple hours. We have 8 tracks, and there's a couple of ways you could do this. You can take a 404 approach because it does do resampling. So if you wanted to let's say you did kick, snare, hat, and then you only had 4 tracks left, and that's not enough for you, you could make your drum pattern, resample that, and then put that on a track and chop it up and blow out the previous samples. Because when you do chops, the sample is still assigned to only one track, but it utilizes all the pads to play the chops. So the chopping on here is pretty good. They absolutely need a truncate feature. Again, when you get into these lower price points, there's certain things that are missing, and truncate is one of those. You could trim, can't truncate. A lot like the KO2. I haven't updated my KO2. I know it's a little behind, so you guys can get in the comments, and if you have a KO2, correct me if I'm wrong. Last update that I put on here, there was no truncate on the KO2. Sonically, XT is lovely. The 12 kilohertz and the 24 kilohertz frequencies sound really good. I converted stuff into both 12 and 24K, but I opted to do this beat with everything at 12K. What I will say is it does not give you that like aliasing SP1200-ish sound. It doesn't feel to me like that was where they were going with it with the sample engine. It feels more MPC 60, MPC 3000. You have that punch and you have that warmth. And that's what I think Sonicware was going for. If that's what they were going for, they definitely hit that mark. Couple of issues I couldn't figure out. For instance, if you take a look, I have patterns here that I named for this beat: intro, hook, main pat 1, main pat 2, main pat 3, main pat 4. Those other stuff, those are just scratch patterns. These first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 patterns really make up the core of the beat. When you create the pattern and you want to save it, because it's recommended that you save the pattern and the project. So those are two separate functions. You do function save to save the pattern. You do function and pad. You see project is underneath. That's how you save the project. With saving patterns, I was screwing that up. But the way to do that, you hit function and save, and then you can see that it's gonna light up. And then once you hit OK, it's going to tell you right there it's saved. Okay, so I was kind of messing that up a little bit, and then copying a pattern was nervous for me. I was like, how do we copy a pattern? Because I like to make a kitchen sink pattern, as you guys know. That's everything in the pattern, and then I copy that out and just remove what I don't need. And shout out to Chris Lodi. He was the one that put me on and said, hey, if you do a function save and then go to a blank pattern, select that and then say OK, your pattern will get copied to that blank. So if I come here, I'll just come here and then say OK, and then go back, and you'll see now that says hook, right? So basically, when you're doing a save, it's almost like it's a copy almost. So at any rate, there's a little bit of workflow tweaks here and there. There's no 16 levels. Sonicware, bless us with a 16 level. That would be really dope. The delay sounds dope. So you can hear that, and I was able to set up a delay, and with that delay you can set up a time signature, so you can get different type of multi-taps on that delay. So that was really dope. When you get these machines have built-in limitations, you have to think about how you work on it, and that thinking is what fosters the creativity. If the thing can do everything out of the box, everything imaginable, you might not, believe it or not, you may be stagnated. You wouldn't even know where to start. But when you have to think about things like when I got the 2400, initially I had to really jump back into the hot tub time machine to work on the 2400, because again, it was one of those 8-note polyphony machines, had 8 tracks, etc., etc. So I had to remember those days, like, oh man, how did we work on these machines in those days? And you just worked smarter, do more with less. And the Lofi-12 XT is one of those units where you can do more with less. You just have to be a little calculated as to how you lay things out. But with the resampling, etc., you could easily keep flipping tracks in here and getting really, really busy. So I really enjoyed the joint. I enjoyed making this beat. It was a little bit of a learning curve. There was just some simple things I thought I'd be able to do that I could do them to a degree, but I just thought the way you would do it, it wasn't that upfront. But I was able to get through it. Again, shout out to Chris Lodi. He definitely answered a couple of my questions. There is the Lofi-12 XT, just kind of like my first impressions. I will say that the Lofi-12 XT receives the Boom Bap Kingdom seal of approval. So shout out to Sonicware, and you guys at Sonicware, Keep up the good work. This is really dope. I'm enjoying it, having fun with it. All right, you guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Check out the BoomBapKingdom.com. If you like the samples in this beat, I will do what I always do, and that's leave you with the finished joint and a BBK salute.
salute.